Okay, we're going to go live and start to bring people in.
Okay, we're going on. We're muted.
Hello. Bringing people in. You guys are right on time, a little early. We'll get everybody lined up here and then we'll start. I do have the YouTube feed on. Should let you know when we are on the Zoom platform. Had a fairly short staffing and I think we'll have a fairly short session today.
I got good news, but I'll wait till it's my turn.
All right, and wait, get everybody here to share it with all of us. I like good news.
I will.
I need more of it.
I think we're both due for a haircut, though.
One of us is. I haven't quite got this part down yet, but give me a while.
I had to start keeping extra hair ties in my lunchbox.
Somebody gave me one, but I couldn't get it to work. I'm getting there. Yeah. Be 9 of us. Joseph, is it hot in there?
Yes, it is.
Where are you, in an RV or something?
Yeah, I'm in my camper. I just come in and opened all the windows. It's
Where are you
quiet out
camping?
here. It's in my yard right now.
Oh, okay. Hello, Ed. Hello, Tasha.
Hi, Judge.
We're getting there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 3 more people to have a quorum. Some of the people weren't going to be able to come back, but I think we'll have a pretty good session here. Here we've got well, oops, these things jump around. We got Luke, we got Spencer, we got everybody but Joy. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Judge Middleton. I'm here at the courthouse. Our staff is here. We had a good staffing session. Once again, it was fairly short because we didn't have much controversy. Everybody was on their game. We had some good news, and I understand we've got a little more coming. Good news about Tasha, good news about Bo, some other things. Kristen is with us now, and she's got Betsy there with her. Sheila has gone on to other assignments. We wish her well, but happy to have Kristen back. And I guess we'll just start. I don't know where Joy is. Tasha, call her and wake her up. Say, hey, where are you? Anyway, as we were getting logged in, Kevin said, hey, I got some good news. And, but I wanted to wait for him to share it. So I like good news. So Kevin, why don't we start with you? How's it going? This is file 201606. What's your good news?
I got my truck going again. So I can call and get my appointment rescheduled so I can get my interlock put in.
Good for you. Some of you know Justin and what a struggle he had to go through to get his interlock, but it was great that he finally did it. And it's harder than it should be. It really is. But I'm happy that you could do it. It's harder and it's more expensive. And we do as much as we can, A, to reduce the expense, and B, to help run interference for you. But good for you. We like the interlock. It's an additional way of regularly testing. It gives us more latitude with what people do things. And how was your trip to the water park?
Oh, it was fun. I was ready to come back home early. That was for sure.
But your kids weren't.
Yeah, my kids had a blast. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie. I made each of the kids each day go with me out on the rides.
Well, good for you. That's something that's just basic fundamental family stuff that everybody ought to be able to do. Sometimes addiction gets in the way of that kind of stuff.
Yes, it does.
When's your, oh, go ahead.
First sober vacation I've had.
That's worth, and that's something your kids will remember for the right reason. Things are good at work.
Yeah, until the forklift guy ran into our roller, broke a part that they have to order.
It's always something.
Yeah.
I had a question. When do you expect to have your interlock installed?
As soon as we're done with court, I am going to call them and reschedule an appointment. I'm hoping they can get me in this week.
These are lessons learned for people farther down the chain than Kevin is on getting the thing installed. That's a pain in the neck, but it's really the only mechanism we have to offer to help people get it. So I'm pleased. Autumn, you got anything to add on Kevin?
No, Kevin's doing great.
And where is he in phase?
I knew you were going to ask me that, so hold on a second.
I don't, as you know, I keep springing. I don't have two screens here in the courtroom, so I have to go with what I got.
64 days into phase 3.
I got community service set up. I do believe this Wednesday night's bingo night for the Heritage Days going on. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday morning.
Good for you to get a big chunk of it. I used to do bingo at Immaculate Conception years ago. I think it was a requirement that you smoke 2 packs of cigarettes in order to do bingo. And then when they eliminated smoking, it sort of killed bingo, at least in those environments. All right, Kevin, you're on top of it. I'm very pleased. I'm glad you had a good vacation. It's a telling thing that it was your first sober vacation, and that is worthy of celebrating. We got some more celebrating. Tasha continues to fight the fight, and Tasha was actually on 2 probations.
Yeah.
One was for another charge, and she completed the programming and got a deferral. And Tasha, that's a big deal. We gave a little round of applause at our session.
Thank you.
You had so many places to be. This stuff is expensive. You're pulling yourself up by your own bootstraps because no one is really helping you except the people here in the program. And
Yes.
the fact that you completed that DV and got the deferral, Autumn signed it, or I'm signing it today. Autumn, that was ready to go.
Yep, I put in for it today, so I'll sign it when it's done and it'll be put out in the mail.
Now, I like the Women's Anger Management Program a lot. I like all of them, the Men's DV program, the Men's Anger Management, and the Women's DV Anger Management Program, which has been a very good program for a long time. And I've got a lot of positive feedback about it. So we're going to take our treatment hat off for alcohol and go with the DV for a minute. What did you think of the program for the DV?
It was eye-opening. I learned a lot of new tools and dealing with everyday life that is different than dealing with your sober tools. So it was eye-opening for me. I enjoyed it.
Way to go,
Many
Tasha.
people,
Thank you.
many people told me over the years they didn't want it to end. You know, they thought it would be a big drag when they got into it. And then once they got into it, they found it to be very valuable and supportive. So I'm pleased you were able to do it. Pleased we're able to defer that other case. And you're working hard. As you know, we've had some stumbles, but you're doing everything I'm asking you to do right now, Tasha. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Your
Now,
Honor.
Autumn says you ended up losing your job and then now they want you back.
Yeah, they had an issue with my court dates and having to leave at random times twice a week. And they're like, well, why can't they just do it, certain times? I'm like, because that's why it's called random drug screening. I don't know when they're going to call me. And they're like, well, I would be appreciative if they could do it on a Friday. And then for some reason, they thought I caught another case. So they thought that I had a new open case and I wasn't a fit for their employment. And then I sat down with them, was like, look, this has been going on since I think July or Mother's Day of last year. And it's not a new case because they wanted me to work weekends, but I was doing anger management. So that's where they thought that I caught a new case at.
Well, this is cumbersome for people. And now that we're doing it by Zoom, it's less cumbersome by far than it was.
It's more convenient.
We've got people calling in from their shop, people just taking some time. Bo's in his car. Joseph's in his camper. You had to come in here, and I won't bore you with the details, but the Supreme Court and the judges are still struggling on what's going to be virtual and what is going to be in person. And essentially, the Supreme Court is directing us to do as many things virtually as we can. So until further notice, this is going to continue to be virtual. But yeah, it was hard. Third shift people had to do it during their sleep time. Second shift people could come in the morning and miss work. But first shift people, there was no real alternative other than missing work. But so I was told then you found another job and then your earlier employer asked you to come back.
Yeah, they emailed me today and apologized for the confusion, asked me if I could come back, which yesterday I got set up with 3 different jobs, 3 different drug screens. I did a physical yesterday. I got the jobs if I want to start there. I guess Lund is familiar to me and I know my job there and I don't have to start something new and start all over from scratch. And they work with me on my doctor's appointments. And I don't know of another employer that would do that.
Well, you know what's best for you. What we found over and over and over again is that people in our treatment program make better employees. We've seen so many people get promoted, get a better job for higher pay, get a better shift. And the employers we've worked with tend to trust us. So I'm pleased, and you know what's best for you. When Autumn said she lost your job, I thought, well, the way she is, she'll have another job the next day, which apparently you did.
I did.
So
I had 3 of them.
You decide what's best for you. Autumn, how's Tasha doing?
Tasha's doing good. She's caught up on everything. She's doing exactly what she needs to do.
That's very good to hear. Tasha, what do you got for us?
Living life with life's turns, still doing it sober, calling my sponsor more often. They raised my medications on me, so I'm doing better with that. I'm getting ready to start therapy with Kristen when we can get a time that fits for both of us.
You're doing exactly what you need to do, as Autumn said. So we're going to ride this ride as far as we can take it, Tasha.
I'm graduating this too.
Okay. All right. Good job. All right. Some more good news. And I'm not going to just dwell on bad news because we don't have much, but I was very impressed with what Autumn told me about Bo. Bo Cuellar, file 21568. Kind of got on his case last time, said he was talking the talk, but not walking the walk. And Bo, are you still there? He's in a car. Bo, can you unmute?
Oh, yep. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What I was trying to say was Autumn briefed us at the staffing session, said you're really getting connected. You're in constant contact. You made up all your meetings. You're engaging in group. All Autumn, why don't you repeat for everybody what you were telling us?
Well, I walked in this morning to 14 emails from Bo, and they were all catch-ups from all of his online and in-person meetings. So I usually don't walk into 14 emails, so I was a little scared that I messed something up. But I was very happy to see that he did what he said he'd do, and he made up all of his meetings. He's been attending multiple meetings a day. I also got an email from a gentleman that he speaks to at one of the in-person meetings that says he does want this, and that he believes that he is now understanding the program. He is given into the program. He knows what he needs to do, and he's going to do it. So that was very reassuring to hear. Spencer's meeting, I hear he's doing well. Everything seems sincere and honest, and he's vocalizing things now. So I think we got Bo on the right track now, and I think Bo's doing this for Bo.
Well, that's who he's supposed to do it for. So that was some very good news, and I'm proud of you. And we've said this a million times, you get as much out of it as you put into it. And you've made a decision you're going to put into it for your kids too. And what do you got to tell us?
Just been working. I'm settled in, working with kids really.
Just a minute. I
Had
got
some really long days. I'm
to take one of the Constances out
waiting
of
for
here.
my ride to get out.
All right, so you're at work waiting for your ride home?
Yeah, he's a group leader, so he's one of the last people to leave. So I'm kind of just stuck waiting, but I usually get extra work done while I'm doing this, or if I don't have my meetings, I'm waiting for
At some
him.
point, we're going to get you an interlock. And Autumn, what's his availability for that?
We talked about that before.
Yeah, we did. Let's see here.
He was eligible on the 19th of July, but we kind of held out because
Oh,
he
yeah,
really
you're
didn't
right,
seem
because he
engaged in the
wasn't.
program.
We wanted to see how he was doing. I think we should go ahead and proceed.
Yep, I'll send him all the information.
You made a believer out of us, whatever it takes. But you're doing it for you and your family. And we were a little apprehensive, but you've made a big showing. Are you working overtime or just straight?
I get there around 4:30, and it depends on what kind of units we're doing, but it's usually between 1 and 3 or 4 that we get done. So it's a little bit of overtime, and sometimes it's not, but it's the piece rate factory. So kind of like the less hours we work, the more money per hour we make.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard, but Heartland and another subsidiary of Thor are both putting plants in Sturgis.
I just heard that the other day.
One is in the Dresser Industrial Center in the south of town, and the other is the one out by the airport. Two separate RV manufacturers are coming to Sturgis with between 450 and 500 jobs. So that is good news, but the RV plants are booming right now. Problem is there's always that boom and bust. Anyway, you're not lazy. Right. You got caught up, so you can get into a little bit of a rhythm here. Spencer, you mentioned that he was engaged and seemed to be plugged in at group.
Yes, Your Honor. Did well, shared well. Good.
All right, I'm very pleased. All right, Bo, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing it for the right reasons. Now, I'll tell everybody, I mentioned this before, the next odd numbered Tuesday is next Tuesday, which would be the 3rd of August. We're not going to meet again until August 17th. So we won't be meeting next Tuesday. Everybody's going to get a notice for 3 weeks rather than 2. the schedule gets disrupted a little bit through the summer with vacations and conferences and other things that happen. But I came in during my vacation for our last session, and we'll skip August 3rd and we'll see everybody on the 17th. Joe Kovac, I think, was the first guy to log in today. 202441. Joe, are you at work now?
No, I was able to get out. They let me out for court.
They lay out for good behavior?
Yes, they do.
Okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Everything's going really good. Picked up some more hours at work, so we're putting in 50s now. Other than that, everything, everything's really smooth. Feeling really good about this.
Autumn, what do you got to add here? Each session, he seems to be on top of everything. His attitude is good. Work is good. He's got date night with his daughter. I'm enjoying seeing his progress.
Absolutely. I got nothing to add. I mean, everybody's doing really well. So they're making our jobs extremely easy.
This is a strange time we've had. We've had as many as 20 plus people in the program at once. This whole summer, this group of 9 of you have really been on your game. Sometimes I dread coming. I had to make a tough decision or figure out what to do with somebody or think about what a proper sanction is. You guys are making this a pleasure. And I don't dread it. Sometimes I dread it when I got to do something I don't, but it's usually not as easy. But you guys are making us look good, and we like the fact that you all look good. So sometimes there's not much to say, but same thing, you're doing exactly what you need to do, and you're doing it for the right reasons. So we'll leave it at that.
No, he will need his 10 hours of community service completed, because if got them done, he could be eligible for face change next time.
Yeah, I've got, after tonight, I'll have 4.5 hours.
Okay.
And then where am I at?
You are 78 days into phase 2.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, same thing for you. You need a sponsor, and you could promote next time as well.
So Joe, next time you'll be more than halfway done with the program. We move from phase 2 to phase 3. That's the halfway point. And you're more than halfway as far as I'm concerned, but that'll be it. And Bo, now that we're able to do in-person meetings, it's easier to get a sponsor. But if you got a sponsor when I see you at the next session, you'll be ready to move to phase 2. All right, Joe Lancaster is in a hot camper that he's got opened up. So instead of being 99, it's in there. It's only 87 in there right now. But Joe, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I got 10 months sobriety now.
All right, that's it. What was the day?
18th.
Of what? May of 18th of what month?
July 18th.
Well, July 18th to now, that's more than a year, not 10 months. No, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. All right, you've been seeing Kristen, and was that correct?
No, I'm
Kristen?
all done with all
No,
that.
he's all done with treatment. He completed IOP.
All right, did 4 weeks with Kristen, that's right.
Yes.
I don't have the notes from July, the July date.
Joe's got his
All right.
interlock installed.
Yeah.
Yay, when did that happen?
That
Tuesday.
Yeah, I was gonna say 21st or last week, beginning of last week.
Tell us how that's going.
Well, it's pretty tricky, but it's going all right. Takes a little to get used to, but it's working fine.
I think they're better. I think the technology is getting better, but it's a pain in the neck. But it's less of a pain in the neck than not having an ability to drive at all. We like it because we get an instant daily blood alcohol level from your testing. It makes it possible for you to get to DRC and get to the places you need to get to. And one of the whole benefits of this is we can help people like you get their license eventually all the way back. But it is tricky. It's tricky when it's hot. It's tricky when it's real cold. It's tricky sometimes when you're using things like window cleaner or other aerosols or something in there. And I never liked rolling retest. You're driving down the freeway and the thing goes off and all of a sudden you got a test. I don't think that's as common as it was, but you'll be a master of it before too long. So have you been able to drive back and forth to work?
I'm on disability.
Okay, that's right. Your motorhome, is it a trailer or a motorhome?
Trailer.
Okay, so you just got it parked in the yard?
Yes. My wife would like it parked somewhere else.
With you in it or?
No, all of us.
That's called a staycation. That's what I just did. I stayed home for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Except I came in every other day. But anyway, sometimes that's all right. Autumn, you got anything else to add?
I don't. Next time, Joe will phase to phase 2, so I will send him his information for community service so he can get started on that.
Okay.
All right. I forgot. What's your sponsor's first name?
Billy.
That's all right. Well, we're going to have a lot of phase changes next time. All right, 10 months sober is nothing to minimize. Ed Baird, we're not going to see too much more of you, but you're here now. Good attitude. How are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
I think about you guys that have to work sometimes outdoors when it's 99 degrees out. It's one thing to be on vacation, watering my wife's flowers when it's hot out. It's another thing to be working out on a roof or in a hot plant somewhere. How's it been going?
Doing good. Winding down at work. Getting caught up. We had a couple extra guys, so I look forward to wrapping that job up and going down to Centerville because I want to get going on the community service thing, and I think I'll enjoy going down there for a month or two, month and a half, whatever.
They'll be really happy to have you. If it's any indication, what I got from Mr. Pattison, I told you he called me up just to go out of his way to tell me what an excellent job you did doing projects for him. You'll be like hired. Hell, they may offer you a job before you're done. I don't know. That's happened more than once. We've had people doing community service that got hired at another job, better job, but that's good to know. So you're just going to take a while off from work?
I'm going to take, we have a little interim between this project and the next one in Lansing. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to be off work for, until October. So what a perfect time to, jump in there and get a hold of this community service thing.
Well, the sooner you get it done, the sooner we'll get off your back.
Well,
And
yeah,
I'll get out your back, but you got 240 to do for Judge Stutzman.
Right.
So
I think I've got
that's the way to do it.
31 hours in so far from last winter. So, but anyway, I plan on going down there and just doing 40 hours a week. You know, they have enough stuff to keep me busy, which I assume they do.
Well, as you know, they went a year without a fair.
Yeah, I haven't heard whether they're having it this year or not. So
I guess I'm assuming they are, but I haven't heard anything to the contrary. Autumn, where is he in phase 4?
So we're in phase 3 because we had to restart phase 3 because of the relapse. So we've got 27 days to go. So on August 31st, he'll promote to phase 4.
All right. Very good.
Which, yes,
All right,
Ed, is past.
that
You're
on the-
short. You're going to be just past the next one. So August 17th is the next session, and you're like August 20th.
Okay.
That's
I was
why.
gonna say it was the 15th or something when I
Yeah,
Well,
that's
moved up. Yeah.
We'll double check the dates. All right, Ed, you're on top of it. Constance, you logged in, then you logged in again. Once is enough. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I was having technical difficulties, so
One Constance had a blue hat on and the other one didn't, so I couldn't tell whether you had an alter ego in there.
Adam asked me to take it off.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, I was having some technical difficulties. I logged in on the laptop and then my mic, I could see that it wasn't working, so I knew you were going to have me talk, so I jumped and logged in on the phone. I tried to log in on the laptop because I figured it'd be better. I can see better and all that, but it's not acting right. So here I am on the phone.
All right, well, we're doing okay. Yeah, when they both get on there, we get a feedback loop and a weird kind of
Yeah,
echo.
because my phone brought me in and it wasn't on mute. So I could hear both of you guys because I hadn't logged out the computer yet. So sorry about that, everybody. Sorry I was late. It wouldn't let me in the Zoom. Tasha and Autumn were both calling me. I'm like, I'm here. It just won't let me in.
I said, Tasha, call Joy, wake her up, tell her to get in here. You're a third shifter. This is right in the middle of your sleep time.
I was just talking to her. I'm like, I'm here, but I can't get in. So outside of that, everything's been going good. I went to a wedding this weekend. It was really nice.
Where was that?
In Vicksburg. I can't even think of the name of the actual venue out there, but it's really nice. It's across from the
that new one. That new one on the outside of town.
Yeah, it's really nice out there though.
Yeah, was that on Friday?
Yeah.
I saw it. We drove by there and saw some people going in, and Sally said, someone's getting married today. That's a very nice facility. Who got married?
She's a really, really close friend. I call her my sister, but she's a super close friend. Her and her wife got married, so.
Well, that's a nice facility, and those are good things. Now, you got to be careful about the bridal toast and all that sort of stuff. Wedding receptions are notorious for people getting themselves in trouble. I was at a wedding. It was down the street from me, so I actually drove my boat to it. And there was a man there at the wedding reception. He was a friend of the bride's father, and he was real drunk. And he was a professional. He had a professional degree. I didn't know him. I just met him, and he was real drunk. And then I thought, boy, I hope that guy didn't drive home. Well, a couple weeks later, the guy was in my court. He got arrested for drunk driving, leaving the wedding. Apparently, he thought he was going to be able to stay there, and they said, you can't stay here. So he got in his car, and he was trying to drive to Three Rivers to get a motel room, and he got arrested for drunk driving. And when I figured out it was the same guy, I said, I can't do this case. I saw you, and you were real drunk. So I had to give it to Judge Pattison. But the moral of the story is the guy didn't plan on getting arrested for drunk driving that night. He went to a wedding, had too much to drink, lost his judgment. If somebody should have stopped the guy or put him in the garage to sleep or something. But anyway, he left a wedding reception and got arrested and spent a couple days in the St. Joe County Jail. So that wasn't you, but
No.
you're still
Well,
on it.
I've known that it was coming up, and so this is something that I've discussed and with in therapy with Kristen and with Spencer's group, with the whole group. And so I mean, I had my steps in place, and then something ended up happening where she didn't pay for the bartending through the venue, so they end up with a dry wedding. So anyway, so worked out real good for me.
Well, I'm impressed actually that you saw this big red light flashing in front of you and you took some preemptive steps to prepare yourself for it. That's very mature and conscientious. And I've lost Spencer, but Kristen, good for you working through this stuff before we get there. Constance, I'm really pleased with how you are doing here. You've still got that whole third shift obligation, which makes life difficult with sleep and all your other obligations. How are you holding up?
I'm doing all right. It's not too bad. Today's my long day.
All right. Autumn, you got anything to add?
Next time, Joy will also phase up. So we're gonna have a lot of phase changes in August.
Wow.
But we need a sponsor. So as long as we have a sponsor here as well, we'll be able to phase change.
You got any luck with that?
I had a couple of people reach out to me, so I'm gonna see how I'm feeling, who I mesh with. So should be ready to rock and roll by the time we meet again.
All right, good. Well, you're so personable. I would think that somebody would be happy to have you as their mentee. But as I mentioned before, we used to have that women's group in Three Rivers, and it was really solid. And the COVID hit, and the whole thing just kind of dissolved. That they would be all over you. But all right, I'll see you on the 17th, and we'll hear who your sponsor is. Okay,
Thank
we're
you.
almost there. Will, where are you? At your parents' house or your own house?
My parents.
Okay, I thought maybe you were back in your house. But how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Where are we phase-wise with him, Autumn?
Let me pull it up. "64 days into phase 2.
They've been pretty uneventful. Phase 1 was smooth sailing. Phase 2 has been smooth sailing. Not much drama. Will's a pretty low-key guy, but they've been 2 good phases. So I guess we'll phase him up sometime in September. Or actually late August. Probably August 31. How is your work going?
It's going good. We're getting hours, building a lot of boats.
Yeah, those are in demand too. How do you feel about your groups? You're more of an NA guy than an AA guy, and we kind of put you as a round peg in a square hole, and you've been doing really good, and makes me think maybe we ought to try this experiment a little more often. But how do you feel about those?
I feel it's a little different, but in the end, it's all the same.
Do you go to any NAs?
Yeah.
Where do they have them?
the church across from Hopton, the Trinity one, Popesville,
Okay.
I think.
You ever do a celebrate?
I didn't like to celebrate recovery. I went to
Well,
one.
if you sampled it, then you know. Some people loved it, some people hated it. There's Jerry's out on the highway, and then there's the original Riverside one. Some people thought it was great, some people said it's not my thing. So at least you've given it a sample. But the main thing is, I guess it's all about recovery and getting better. You're still seeing Betsy?
Yeah. I see her tomorrow, I think.
Autumn, he's on top of his game too. He's pretty quiet, but it's like no drama. He's doing what we're asking him to do. He looks better. He sounds better. I think he feels better, and he's moving forward.
Yes,
Where's he
is.
with interlock?
He's still trying to figure out vehicle issues.
Yeah, I'll get that done. I just wanted to get some stuff done at my house first.
We've got time. My
Yeah.
goal is to get everybody a license before we're done, because it's hard, really hard, once you're not in a program and you've got us to plow the ground for you. But you got time. All right, you're on top of it, and everybody made it through the holidays and summer. All right, Will, we'll see you on the 17th. Our last person today is Lee. We'll do him last because we aren't going to see much more of him. We got some stuff to talk about next time. I think, well, Lee graduates next session, correct?
Yep, he's 78 days into phase 4 right now.
Lee, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
What do you feel about being done?
Finally can get some sleep.
Well, it's a mixture between
Third shift and
yeah.
between all the appointments and working third shift, it's hard to find time to sleep.
One thing I hope you do is continue with your AA. As I said, you'd make an excellent sponsor. We're going to talk about more about this next time, but some people have a mixture of joy from being done and fear of jumping off the cliff and hoping they don't crash. But we can't put you on probation and leave you in a program forever. We bring you in at the beginning. We tell you what's expected of you. We don't move the finish line as you get close to it, unless something goes haywire. But you can see what's expected, and that's fair. Then you're going to be on your own. We've got a large number of people that have completed this program that are sober 6, 8, 10, 5 years later. We've also got a fair number of people that have relapsed. Some have relapsed instantly. They have a drink the day they graduate. Those people we failed. Sometimes they go well and then stress comes and something comes up. That's what we like, is to keep people better and healthier. And everybody in here is better and healthier. Every single one of you is better and healthier than when I met you. No one looks real good in handcuffs and a green striped suit. They're not exactly at their best when they get arrested. And when they're first struggling with stopping. But as the time passes, their eyes get clearer, their skin gets better, they look healthier, they look good. And that's the way you look, is you look younger than when you started. You just feel older, that's all. Autumn, anything to add? Lee's been with it the whole time. The third shift is tough for people.
No, he's on cruise control. He's just waiting for that day. He's gonna do great.
We'll talk more about it at the next session. All right, Lee, I'll see you on the 17th. Now, the judge ends up talking all the time, which makes things go longer, and I don't give maybe people enough time to speak. Anybody got anything they want to share with us before we close out the session? Nope. All right, you guys do enough sharing at AA and at Spencer's group and at other things. I like the way you support each other. I like the way that you and Tasha are on top of it, and she's poking you in the side, and she's wondering who's not where they're supposed to be and what they're doing. Bo, I'm glad to pull you up out of the water into the boat. I think now that you're going to start to get dry, you're going to start to get the feeling of like being sober and have a sober vacation with your kids like Kevin just did. And things just get better. Okay, everyone. I'll see you in 3 weeks, not 2. Everybody will still be on top of it. We'll be doing a bunch of phase changes next time, and we'll graduate Lee. So everybody stay good, stay in your sessions, connect with your sponsors, and I'll see you on the 17th. As for the staff, as always, thanks for all your help. All right, everyone, I'm going to end the session, and you're good to go.